Hey guys, this is an Affliction Warlock guide. I'm going to try to make it as quick and painless as I possibly can, so click on the link to go to a certain section or just watch the whole video. Affliction Warlocks are one of the most annoying classes to gear. This is because of a thing called Haste breakpoints. Haste breakpoints are when you reach a certain amount of haste, you achieve a haste breakpoint for one of your dots, and at this point, they'll tick an extra time in their full duration. Essentially, it'll just tick faster. So here's an example of the haste threshold chart. The main reason that it's so annoying to gear an Affliction Warlock for arenas is because you don't know if you're going to have a 5% haste buff. The classes that have this are Boomkin, Ellie Shaman, Hunter, and Shadow Priest. So if you click on this right here, it'll tell you the exact amount of haste rating that you need in order to achieve an extra tick on these specific dots. Now the one that most people go for in full Grievous gear is 9,778 haste. But you might not necessarily be running with someone who has this buff, so if you take this off, it'll tell you that the most reasonable one is 9,094 haste. And you can also check how many you'll get with Dark Soul and a whole bunch of other stuff that grants you haste. The damage that your dots do is based on whatever stats you had when you applied the dot. So if I have just self buffs and no procs, no trinket or anything right now, I apply Unstable Affliction to this target dummy. It ticks for 15k each time. Now I have Jade Spirit and I'm going to use my trinket. Apply Unstable Affliction to this one. Ticks for 19k each time. Oh, now I have another proc. Same dot, 21k each time. So that works with all your dots. Every dot in the game works like this. For Soul Swap, it's the exact same thing. When you apply dots, the dots maintain their stats through Soul Swap. So these are going to do the exact same damage on this dummy, even though I just got trinket procs. However, if I refresh them with the trinket proc, you'll see that this dummy is doing a little more damage, and if I swap it over to here, they both do a little more damage. And even when my trinket runs out, I can swap the same dots that do more damage over to any other target. The way that Malefic Grasp works is that every time it ticks, it causes all your dots on the enemy to tick for half of their normal damage in addition to what they would normally do. So you also want strong dots if you were going to Malefic Grasp. There's no point in using Malefic Grasp in arenas if you have weak dots on your enemy. It's not doing that much damage, you're not putting out enough pressure. You'd be better off fearing and peeling for your team. Haunt works the same way as Curse of the Elements. You don't need to apply it first in order to get the buff from it. So if I apply Unstable Affliction, it'll do about 15k each tick. If I Haunt, it increases the damage by 35% for 8 seconds, 21k a tick. So here's how I put out pressure in arenas. First you apply all your dots with a Soul Swap. And then maybe refresh Unstable Affliction. At this point you should have some procs. So refresh all your dots with your cooldowns up. And just spread them out to everyone. Make sure they all have Curse of the Elements. Spread out all your dots. Maybe even refresh them the last time before your thing runs out. And then you'll have long, strong dots. And the way that you burst on a single target is Haunt and Malefic Grasp, and then you'll be doing a lot of damage to that person. So that's pretty much it. All you have to do is dot, run, and fear. It's basically what Affliction Warlocks are. So next guide I'll be doing is Demonology. See you then.